you've got your houses and your cars and your wives and your job security. You don't have what I have. Freedom. You're all slaves, and I am free to do what I want any old time.
If you'd be so kind, would you mind introducing yourselves for the podcast?
Yeah, I'm Alan, drummer, 31 years old.
I'm Christophe, I play guitar.
I'm Chris, I do the vocals.
I'm Bastien, I play bass.
And the band that you guys are in is called?
Youth Avoiders.
Nice. So, right now we are in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, where you guys are in the midst of, I believe, a Southeast Asian tour, or is it a full Asian tour?
Southeast Asia tour, yeah. We're gonna play, so we are playing some Malaysian shows, then Singapore, then Indonesia.
Have you guys played Southeast Asia before?
Never before, it's the first time. We played a few times we toured in the States, 4 times, one time in Russia and then everywhere in Europe, but it's the first time in Southeast Asia. Yeah. And we had some contacts from...
Yeah, I remember like some years ago, a guy from Indonesia came to our show in Paris and told us like, you guys should really come and play in Southeast Asia. So it was our first, first time we thought about this, because this guy told about it. And then a guy wanted to release a discography tape with our songs in Indonesia, and then we thought like, oh, okay, so maybe there is some interest, maybe people would like to see us, and then that's why we came up with this idea of tour. And then we got a contact of our friend Sichan, who helped us to book this tour.
Sichan is one of the big promoters here in KL. He does Nautifest shows, which you guys are a part of tonight. I think one of the first, or maybe the first show I saw here in KL was a Nautifest show. And Sichan always brings really interesting bands from different parts of the world together. So thank you, Sichan.
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Terima kasih.
So you guys knew nothing about Southeast Asia before coming here?
Not really.
That's right.
Were you expecting anything? Did you have any...
We heard, because we toured on the West Coast, US West Coast, with a band from England called Dry Heaves. They toured Southeast Asia and told us it was amazing, and the shows were crazy, and and it was really intense compared to the shows we are used to play in Europe, for example. So yeah, that's what we expect. And yeah. so far so good.
They told us, for example, sometimes at shows there are like 15 bands or 20 bands that play, and we're not used to that. No. And they play pretty short, and when you go to the toilet, you come back, you miss 2 bands. So that seemed to be really interesting to see also.
Let's talk about Youth Avoiders. How would you describe the music that you make?
Fast.
Yeah, like
80s inspired hardcore punk without distortion, played as fast as we can.
yes, with
That's pretty much
hardcore and also with melodic parts.
Yeah.
Is it fair to say that you're very Husker Du-esque?
Kind of.
I think
That's not our being influenced, but I know what you mean by this.
we never talked about a lot about. We talked about a lot about other bands when we started. Bands from Sweden, especially.
Or
at that
Germany.
time. Or Germany, and but personally, I love Husker Du, but it's never been a real reference to say that's. We should. I think. But
Yeah,
it's
when we
cool if
started
you
the
say like
band,
this.
the bands we were listening to at that moment, back in 2009, were like Dinderg, Press Gang, Idle Hands,
The Vicious,
Mass Hysteria,
Rattons.
The Observers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these bands were our influence when we first started practicing.
I guess I should point out that I'm more of a metal guy, and so my
Oh,
hardcore
okay.
my hardcore references basically don't go past like Black Flag, Dead Kennedys,
Yes,
Husker Du,
and of
like
course
Minor Threat.
classic hardcore bands like Minor Threat
Okay.
also is a
Right.
big influence.
Minor Threat is one of those bands we all agree on.
Yes.
So this is a
Yeah.
good reference.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your band history. How did you guys come together, and I guess what did you want to accomplish?
I'm German and I wanted to live 1 year in Paris, and I just bought my guitar because I thought maybe there's someone I could replace in the band. And then after a few weeks I met Chris, the singer, and then we talked a little bit. After 4 weeks we all were in the practice room suddenly, and we didn't know each other pretty well. And then,
Yeah, because of a common friend who introduced to each other, and we were all looking for to make a band at that time. So in a 2 weeks period, we met at like 2 different shows in Paris, and we thought like, oh, let's try to make a band. Let's book a practice room, and then we met.
After the first practice, it was clear that let's do a band. Everyone,
Christophe brought some guitar riffs, and we liked it. Then Marlon, our drummer, played some fast beats, and it was really cool.
So after the goal was to play one show, and then we played another show and another show. We recorded a demo, and after a year I had to go back to Germany, and then I did that. But I came back soon after to Paris, just to continue the band. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Did you guys have a pretty good idea of what kind of music you wanted to play from the start?
Not at all.
No, we just tried. Yeah.
Actually, I think we play this because of Christophe and of the influences we had at that time, because he brought some guitar riffs and we liked it. We liked the sound, and so we thought like, okay, let's continue do this kind of song. So that's it.
Also because there was no distortion to it, and it was pretty rare at that time, or even like today. Most of the punk bands have play with distortion. I have distortion, especially in metal. If you think about no distortion, it's in metal. I think it's not possible.
It becomes like folk rock.
It becomes folk rock. We played it fast enough so it doesn't become folk rock.
Reaching, not getting for the man. He takes you down.
Tell me about the punk scene in Paris, because I don't know that much about it.
The punk scene in Paris is
That's a tough question because.
So I guess let's start
what I can say, for example, is that at least in Paris, punk scene and garage scene is mixing. Each other,
the bands
which
are.
is pretty rare in other cities. They don't mix. They don't know each other, but they play the same venues at different times. That's a good thing, and there are always new people coming to Paris because it's a central city. So there's always people coming from the south or from other countries, and they start new bands.
And
So
same for touring bands because.
And everyone wants to play in Paris.
Yes, because it's quite central in Europe. So if, for example, we have all the touring bands, especially from the US.
So I think you can say that 5 nights a week you have shows going on.
Almost every night you
almost
have a
every
punk
night.
show. Yeah.
Is it? Do you guys have a space like CBGB's or Gilded Street?
We used to. There was a place called La Miroiterie. It was a squat since late 90s.
Early 90s, I think.
No, 1999, yes. And it was a place where everyone used to go. And all the shows were happening at this place, but they got kicked out, and the squat is destroyed now. Now there is a punk bar in the suburbs, but it's the suburbs, so people are not willing to go there. The lineup has to be really good, so a lot of people go, because it's not central in Paris. But so now we are trying to survive between this place, this punk bar, and other random venues or bars.
Mostly bars.
Yeah, we don't have any more CBGB like La Miroiterie in the past. Yes.
I haven't lived in that many places. I'm mostly familiar with the scenes in New York and here, and I would say the major difference between a big city and a smaller city like KL is, you'll see different types of bands, like sometimes even metal bands, sometimes even like a reggae band play the same show, whereas in bigger scenes it tends to be a lot of the same kind of band. Is that something that happens in Paris?
Both.
Yeah,
You can play a show where the first band is playing folk music, and the second band is playing garage punk, and the third first band is fastcore, and then you finish with an electronic DJ set who play some techno.
It depends, but we have also the gigs with only one style of music all night. So yeah, it depends. Yeah.
Do you have a preference for which kind of show you want to play?
As long as it's good.
Yeah, because we like a lot of different styles of music. We are not only into this kind of punk, I agree. As long as it's good, we like shows with some styles mixed together.
We played once in California in a garage, and so there was an electronic band, us, who played hardcore, and then a bluegrass band to finish, and everyone was sitting on the floor listening to them playing banjo.
I remember this show.
Funny.
It doesn't happen so much at this Rumah Api, but at the old Rumah Api, there would sometimes be like an after show where somebody would do like, my friend up, he plays in a thrash crossover band. But he also has like a country thing where he does Johnny Cash songs. And then another dude would like do folk songs.
Yeah.
So that would be like the after show, like after like the headliner would play. Maybe something like that will happen tonight.
Yeah.
So if I'm not mistaken, the lyrics for your songs are in English. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there a reason why you decided to choose English instead of French?
Because of our influences, only bands that sing in English.
Okay.
And because in France we have a lot of crappy punk bands who sing in French, and we didn't want to have anything to do with them, because they all play like the same basic punk style,
French
like kind of boring, not really interesting, and they sing in French, and we were like. We don't want to have to do anything with them, so we're gonna sing in English, like the bands we like, and
Yeah, that's why.
Okay.
Yeah, it's easier, I think. It's easier to play around France, like in Germany, Spain, if you sing in English, because the people can understand the lyrics and sing with you. And we don't know so much French bands who play outside. We know some band French, but not so often actually, who sing in French and play outside of France.
But as long as you are doing some good stuff, you can sing in French or in any language. But I don't know, we didn't have the appeal for this. Yeah.
I have noticed, I mean, I can't speak specifically to any, it happens a lot more in the metal scene than in the punk scene, but there does seem to be a lot of like nationalism associated with certain scenes, like bands that will only sing in Norwegian sometimes have like weird politics. So I don't know if that has anything to do with...
I think in punk it's more than just kind of style. There's, for example, also in Germany you have called German punk, Deutsch punk.
Yeah.
And the lyrics are more important than the riffs or the music. So all the bands sound the same, but they all have different lyrics. So if you understand the language, you can really have a preference for a band. But we prefer to have to focus first if the music is good, and then the lyrics they come with it. And but it's in Germany, for example, and I think also in France, it's just a matter of style to sing in your language or not. I think you have nationalist bands in every country. So,
No, in punk in France.
In punk, no, not really, no.
No.
Unfortunately, we have Nazi Malaysian bands here.
Whoa.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand how you can have Malaysian Nazis, but apparently it's a thing and we have them.
Really? I'm impressed.
At the thought process that allows somebody to be a Malaysian Nazi.
Yeah. It's as long as you can argue, find your arguments. Why are you this? Okay, show me.
Smoke on trees, your neighbors on the way to life.
So let's talk about the Relentless album, which came out, I believe, a few months back. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
April.
March?
In March, April, yeah.
Tell me about the writing process.
Okay, so it was kind of long because we all have daily jobs, and so for tours we take days off from work, and apart from this we can play only on Friday, Saturday. Some weekends, because our bass player is a nurse at the hospital, at the emergency department, and so we can play only some shows. And when we play shows, we can't practice. We don't have much time to practice, so it took a while.
It took a while. I think all in all it took 1 year from the moment we said let's face the album and until we finally got into the studio. And,
but the writing process is pretty basic. We bring some guitar riffs, then we
try to put it together.
We define what's gonna be the chorus and the different parts of the songs, and then we add the drums, everything, and then the vocals are the last part of the writing process. Yes. For this album, for the lyrics, I did this all at the
last second.
Last second, yes.
In the studio.
In the studio.
Do you prefer writing that way?
He did it the last few times.
I think it's because I'm really lazy, and maybe I have to be like against the wall to do it, because I guess I don't really like it, but when I'm doing it, I like it, but I'm not able to do it until I'm against the wall. So it's very complicated.
I want to talk about the production of the album, specifically the guitar tone, because I think the guitar tone that you have is very unique and also very, I mean, we talked about how you don't use distortion, but the sound is very full.
The sound is very full. Actually, we entered the studio, we bought all of our guitars, which means some good guitars, some
crappy
guitars. Okay. And then we tried the amp and we said, oh, that sounds really good, everything sounds good. And then the guy from our label, from Disparate Records, Nico, he was recording us too. He said, I borrowed this Fender Stratocaster from 1972. I think it's out of tune, but maybe you should try it. And then Bastian told me, yeah, come on, try it. And then we plugged it in and it was ring.
And then we plugged this guitar in the amp, and we all
knew that all the other guitars we can put back in their cases. We only use this one guitar.
We're gonna use this one.
So this is the only guitar that's on the album. It's only one guitar with 2 different amps. That's it. So it sounds really bright, it sounds warm, it sounds nice. So it was clear that no other guitar would be destroyed this sound.
Yeah.
And then
we are really lucky because this guitar is maybe 10,000 euros.
We wanted to buy it from the dude, but he said, "No, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna sell it."
But yeah, of course we would have wanted to ask for a discount because we don't have 10,000 euros.
I mean, I think the results speak for itself. I can't, like I said, I'm more of a metal guy, and I don't have that wide a knowledge about punk, but I can't think of another band that I've heard has that tone.
In punk, so the bands that influenced us have this tone.
They all played clear guitars, like bands like the Vicious Massistery, but mostly rhythm guitar. And if you have an old amp from the 70s,
I guess it's a 70s sound.
It's just like how back then the guitar was sounding. Like if you listen to the Who, they just plugged in a good guitar into a good amp.
Maybe for hard rock or metal in the 70s, they just cracked the amp max volume, so it sounded heavy, but it was
still light compared to heavy distortion.
If you lower the volume, it's our sound.
If you listen to Black Sabbath, it's back then it sounded really heavy, I think. But even if you listen to today, like to Black Sabbath or Pentagram, it's really light sounding compared to like Korn.
To nowadays metal.
To nowadays metal. Korn is just a joke.
Just a slight digression. How did Malcolm X appear on the cover of your Spare Parts EP?
Actually, it's not Michael
It's
X.
not Malcolm X.
Our drummer's dad, he's a photographer.
Okay.
And he was like taking pictures of the Rolling Stones back then when he was 17.
Okay.
And of the Hells Angels and stuff. And he went to a festival or to
No,
London
it was in a protest
was,
in
Right
London.
London
Yeah.
during the 70s.
In the park.
Yeah, I think.
Hyde Park maybe? Which park? Somewhere in
Yeah,
London.
somewhere in London, late 70s.
yeah.
Yes, it was a guy from British Black Panthers.
Oh, okay.
And it was just a random dude.
I know
And
it
he-
was early 70s.
Maybe.
And
Yeah.
he took the picture of the student. We were looking for some cover, and he always I have some pictures. Look at this. And
I have some pictures
and,
from back then. Look at the photo I took when I was younger.
Yeah.
And then we saw this photo. Wow, this one
That would be
would
cool.
be a really cool cover.
But it's not Malcolm X.
Yeah,
My bad.
but
just a-
almost.
That was Englishman comics.
English Malcolm X. Do you know who he is?
No.
Absolutely.
Just
Yeah, I think he's just a random guy
Random guy, yeah.
in the protest. Yeah.
could have been someone else. He just took the picture of him.
Yeah.
You guys put out a tape, right? Through a Malaysian label.
Yes, Pissed Off Records.
Pissed Off Records, yeah. But this was before you got in touch with Sichan. Is that right? Or no?
I think it was almost at the same time because we heard that to be known in Southeast Asia, you have to have a local record label, local label that put out your release, so the people know more about your band. So we got in touch with CIA from Pissed Off Records, and we asked him, could you put out maybe our latest album on tape? And he said, yeah. And so that's why we chose to do it. But I think it was a really good thing. He did a really good job. We like the tape. It looks good. And also, I think people here listen to tapes. So that's perfect.
I mean, well, I would say first of all, it's awesome that you guys have a release on a Malaysian label. I think to be known in Southeast Asia, all you have to do is put your music up on the internet,
Yeah.
and we will find it.
Yeah.
So Bandcamp, YouTube, yeah.
They lied.
But maybe it helps a little bit.
Yeah. No, I mean, there definitely is a collector's market for tapes and stuff like that. But I would say, I mean, I'm talking about kids who are listening to
Okay.
who are listening to music on their phones.
Yeah.
So like the tape market is more of like a collector's thing.
Okay.
I'm old enough to remember having a Walkman.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to a cassette in like 15 years.
Yeah, but we have our records are free on our Bandcamp page.
Yeah,
So
I
everyone
did-
can get it.
Yeah. I did notice that because that's how I got Relentless. Well, why do you guys do that? Out of
It's basically because
So many people can listen to it.
yeah, as many people can listen to it as it's free, and also myself, I like to download the MP3 files to check out the band so I can listen to it at home, and then if I really like the record, I'm gonna go to the show, buy the vinyl. But I like to discover as many bands as possible, and I don't want to pay for I don't know the English name, not material things, you know. Like as MP3 files. I know it helps the band for paying for the recording fees, of course. So that's why we chose to put it as a pay as you want on Bandcamp. You can put 0 if you don't want to spend any money. You can put €1, €2 to help us with the recording fees. I think that's a good option.
do you think that being a punk band also means standing for something?
Yeah, of course there are ethics as DIY, feminism, and like of course the political side of the music that are really important. And we want to keep it that way. We don't want to be. There are some bands who are proclaimed to be punk bands and they don't follow these ethics, and for us they are not punk at all. We don't want to be part of this scene.
The reason why I brought that up is because do know that you guys had the opportunity to play with the Anti-Nowhere League, and you decided not to play.
Yes, actually, Anti-Nowhere League are a band from the 80s, I think, and but we didn't know them before we got to play with them. Of course, we heard about the name, but like a couple of months before playing this festival, we saw the lineup, and then we saw Anti-Nowhere League, and we checked out the bands, and we saw that they had some sketchy lyrics, and yeah, we decided we didn't want to be part of this, because the festival invites them to play, even if they have sketchy lyrics, and for us it's not right. So we decided to pull off of this festival. Yes.
Yeah, there was some arguments falling on our Facebook page, and basically it was people saying, you should understand that they're just funny, and then after it was like this kind of discussion where you but for us it was just like no, we don't want to be share a stage with them, and then that's it. Let them do what they want, but we're not gonna be part of it.
Yeah, people told us, you have to
understand that it's just fun.
You should play and then talk to them, etc., etc. Whatever, we don't have time for this. We prefer it's a clear thing. We're not gonna play with them. We're not gonna share the stage with them. So fuck them. Yeah.
Very last question, I promise. Is there anything you want to say to the kids who are coming out to see you on the Southeast Asian tour?
Yes, please come with all your friends, and let's have fun.
Let's have fun. Let's party. Let's share some time together, and let's just be
enjoy it.
Yeah. Just enjoy it.
Yeah, let's enjoy it.
Merci. Danke.
Merci.